I'm John Kimmel, and you're watching Capital OTB.
Hello and welcome to Horses and Courses. I'm Jean Wood. We've had a busy weekend of stakes racing. Unfortunately, a lot of races coming off the turf because of bad conditions. We are going to begin down in South Florida at Calder, where unfortunately we were off the turf for Saturday's racing. Things are going to get kicked off with the Shocker T handicap for older fillies and mares at 1 mile and the 16th. Let's join the Shocker T in progress.
That half mile was fast, 46-2, and Prospective Saint starting to shake loose from Take to Tour. Prospective Saint in front going into the far turn. She's opened up now to lead it by 3.5. Take to Tour is not doing nearly enough. Tigi is starting to move well on her inside. Mosita coming in from the back of the pack. No word yet from India Halo. She's still last as they come to the quarter pole. Prospective Saint now with a 5-length lead as they come to the head of the stretch. It's Prospective Saint in front. Whip is out on Tigi. Mosita now. Here's India Halo starting to pick it up, but she's about 10 back at the head of the stretch. It's Prospective Saint. She's clear as they come to the 8th pole. Tigi second best to this point. Then Mosita and India Halo, but it's all Prospective Saint and Eddie Castro. Prospective Saint with a 5-length lead and 90 yards to go. Tigi not doing enough. India Halo moving too late, and Prospective Saint is going to amble home to win the Shocker T. Looked like Tigi held the place from India Halo.
Prospective Saint and Eddie Castro getting the victory here. 4 1/4 lengths on the front end from Tigi, who rallied from off the pace. India Halo also making an off the pace move to finish 3rd. The winner, Prospective Saint, a dark bay or brown filly, a daughter of St. Bellado from AB Prospect by AP Indy, was bred in Kentucky by Edward P. Evans, owned by Charles D. Miller and trained by Marty Wolfson, ridden to victory by Eddie Castro. Prospective Saint covers the 1 mile and the 16th in 1:47.4. We're going to head back down to Florida now in the JJ's Dream, $100,000, 6 furlongs for 2-year-old fillies. Let's head back to Calder and the JJ's Dream.
And they're off in the JJ's Dream. Bond Queen fast toward the outside. Reason to Rejoice is moving up, frolicking between them. No Hearsay is also in that first flight with Road Tracks Joy down on the rail. From the outside, we come to a Sea Trippy, who's only 3 lengths off the lead. Zooming By is just down on her inside. Then we come to Orchid Isle and Lake Alice. Tazalia is the trailer, and she's got 11 to make up. Well packed with a half mile to run. Road Tracks Joy, Reason to Rejoice. These two right together going into the far turn. Frolicking is there in 3rd. She's got Clear Sailing a length off the leaders. Then we come to No Hearsay. Dropping back is Zooming By, being passed right now by a Sea Trippy. A Sea Trippy is hard ridden and trying to pick it up. Lake Alice also moving in from the rail. Around toward the quarter pole. Road Tracks Joy frolicking. They're going better than Reason to Rejoice. Reason to Rejoice is dropping back as they come to the head of the stretch. No Hearsay is on the move. It's Road Tracks Joy frolicking. No Hearsay. Lake Alice getting into gear from 4th. Road Tracks Joy just in front. No Hearsay moving up to challenge. Here's No Hearsay on the grandstand side of Road Tracks Joy. Lake Alice firing up the rail at No Hearsay. Here comes Lake Alice in the final strides. Lake Alice from No Hearsay. Lake Alice takes the JJ's Dream. No Hearsay second best. Tight for 3rd. Zooming By her Road Tracks Joy.
The track continued to be listed as sealed and sloppy for the JJ's Dream, and it was Lake Alice enjoying the racing surface, getting the win on the rail by a length over No Hearsay. Zooming By, rallying, made a nice move on the turn, got into contention, and came up a little bit flat in the drive to finish 3rd. The winner, Lake Alice, is a chestnut daughter of Mount Livermore from Comfortabelle by Bred Ransom. Bred in Florida by John Lankshire and Gainesway Farm, owned by William Chatine and trained by Jimmy Chapman. Ridden to victory by Christy Chapman, Lake Alice covers the 6 furlongs in 1:13.1. Right back down to South Florida now in the Calder Oaks, $200,000 for 2-year-old or 3-year-old fillies, originally carted at 9 furlongs on the turf. It's going to end up being run on that sloppy sealed racetrack. Let's head back to Florida, the Calder Oaks.
And they're off in the Calder Oaks. Very even start. Leona's Knight is flashing speed. To her inside is a classy, sassy lassie. My Typhoon moves up with Crafty Judy on the extreme outside. And behind them is Bobcat Greeley, Fast Lisa down on the rail. Then Dancetta Light, who's 4.5 lengths back. Ragtime Hope is just to her inside. Then we come to Capture the Present, and a long way back is Tiger Bell. Tiger Bell already about 16 lengths back as they make their way into the first turn. They went 23-1 for the opening quarter, and a three-pronged battle on the front end. A Classy Sassy Lassie, Leona's Night, and Crafty Judy. These three right across the track as they move onto the back stretch, and My Typhoon is getting a good stalking trip right now. She's a clear fourth just in behind these leaders and only 3 lengths off the pace. Bobcat Greeley moves up on her outside. Then we come down to Fast Lisa. Here's Ragtime Hope underway. Ragtime Hope has clear sailing. She's in the red on the extreme outside and moving toward the leaders as they go to the half-mile pole. That half-mile went in 47-3. Crafty Judy just to the outside of a Classy Sassy Lassie. They're about to be joined by My Typhoon. Now 3 across the track once again. There goes My Typhoon at a Classy Sassy Lassie. Suddenly Crafty Judy couldn't accelerate with the top 2. Ragtime Hope is now into third. Fast Lisa is now coming after the top bunch, and they go around the far turn with My Typhoon sticking her head in front. My Typhoon and Jerry Bailey in front with a quarter mile to run. A Classy Sassy Lassie's going to have to dig down for more. Whip is out on Ragtime Hope. Fast Lisa not doing enough. Tiger Bell put in this big run from the back of the pack, and Tiger Bell, who was way out of it, is now up to get the lead. Here's Tiger Bell, a gigantic run around that far turn, and she blew right by the field. My Typhoon doesn't know what hit her. Tiger Bell and Manuel Cruz in front. My Typhoon re-rallying. Tiger Bell wins the Calder Oaks. My Typhoon second best, then Fast Lisa.
Bit of an upset here, 32-1 shot. Tiger Bell getting the victory over the favorite My Typhoon, who had spent her career running on the main track, coming out of a couple of very impressive performances on turf. Here they decided to try her on that sloppy surface. She ran well but was outgained in the final strides by Tiger Bell. Fast Lisa rallies from off the pace, as did the winner, to finish third. The winner, Tiger Bell, is a bay daughter of Tiger Ridge from Sanction by Maudlin. She was bred in Florida by Robert Raffy Jr., owned by the breeder, trained by David Munch, and ridden to victory by Manuel Cruz. Tiger Bell, the big long shot upsetter in the Calder Oaks, completes the 9 furlongs in 1:53 and 4. Right back down to Calder now in the running of the Criterium Stakes for 2-year-olds. Once again, we're going to be sprinting 6 furlongs. Let's head back to Florida, the running of the Criterium.
And they're off in the Criterium. Lord of the Flame a bit slow out of the gate. Weekend Weather is flashing speed. St. Jules is right there. Now Forest Dan's comes right on through to take command up the back stretch. Prayers and a Song is into third, only a length off the pace. Tizzy's No Saint on the extreme outside. It's a break of 2 to Gin Rummy King moving up. Then Servinsky, Our Loyal Man, has about 5 lengths to go, and a long way back to Lord of the Flame, who's already 11 lengths back. Well bunched going to the far turn. Forest Dan's just in front. He leads it 3 parts of a length. Now just a half a length. Here's St. Jules getting closer to him from the outside. Prayers and a Song now has 2 lengths to make up. Gin Rummy King is underway. Here's Gin Rummy King into fourth and coming after the leaders. In behind him, Weekend Weather. Right now, Our Loyal Man not doing anything up on the outside. Top of the lane, Forest Dan's going to turn him on down. St. Jules is there. Gin Rummy King looks like the main danger, though, and here he comes at Forest Dan's. Forest Dan's, Gin Rummy King. Gin Rummy King going better, and Gin Rummy King takes command down the lane. Gin Rummy King onto the front and drawing away from Forest Dan's. The race is for show. Coming late is Lord of the Flame, but Gin Rummy King takes the Criterium. Forest Dan's second best, then Lord of the Flame. And
Gin Rummy King, 8-1 upsetter here by 5.5 lengths, and it was often in many of these races about who liked that racing surface. It was a showery day, the sealed sloppy track playing a part in the racing here. Forest Dan's, a solid effort on the front end as the favorite at even money after a bobbling start. Lord of the Flame, a very nice effort by this one after a troubled beginning. He too hesitated at the start, 25-1 outsider, still rallied nicely, and despite that sealed surface, it was a track that was fairly kind to horses that rallied. Gin Rummy King is a dark bay or brown son of Double Honor from Ginny Auxier by Racing Star, bred in Florida by Farnsworth Farm and owned by Dominic Vitesse. Trained by David Vivian and ridden to victory by Eduardo Nunez. Gin Rummy King covers the 6 furlongs at Calder in 1:10 and 3. Going to head right back down to Florida now in the Calder Derby presented by Woodford Reserve. It was listed originally as a grade 3 on the turf for 3-year-olds. Of course, it did come off the turf and lost its graded status, at least temporarily. Let's head back down to Florida, the Calder Derby.
And they're off in the Calder Derby. Talented Prince broke well from the outside. Dream On is showing his normal speed. Looks Good Junik moves up to the outside of him. Down on the rail is Hal's Image, and Skeletor is a close-up early. He's a joint third right now and just over a length off the pace. Dazzling Dr. Seven has 2 beaten. Talented Prince, who's taken back, and the trailer Amateur Ambush, who is well off the rail and about 10 lengths out of it as they enter the first turn. 23-2 for the opening quarter, and up front it's Dream On, who shows the way almost a length right now from Looks Good Junik. Hal's Image is along the rail in third and saving ground as they move to the back stretch. Skeletor is back to fourth right now and 3 lengths off the lead. Another 3.5 back. We come to Dazzling Dr. Seven in front of Talented Prince, and still Amateur Ambush with the best view of the field. Now he's a dozen lengths back after a half mile in 47-2. No change up front though. It's still Dream On with Juan Leyva showing the way. They've opened up on the front end. Dream On with a half mile to run has a 2.5 length lead. Hal's Image is now coming after him. Looks Good Junik up on his outside. Skeletor is pushed along in fourth, but he's got to do better than this. Skeletor about to be passed by Dazzling Dr. Seven. Talented Prince is also starting to get in gear from the back of the pack. It's Dream On clear as they go around that far turn. He's got a 3-length lead as they go to the quarter pole. Dream On. Juan Leyva hasn't asked him for his best yet. Now Dazzling Dr. Seven is coming with a big run. Dazzling Dr. Seven's got dead aim on the leader, but he's still 3 lengths behind. Dream On has to hold off Dazzling Dr. Seven, who's closing at him. It's Dream On. The rail is open for Dazzling Dr. Seven, and here he comes. Dazzling Dr. Seven coming to the inside of Dream On. Dazzling Dr. Seven, nip and tuck to the wire. Dazzling Dr. Seven wins the Calder Derby over Dream On. Talented Prince was third.
Dazzling Dr. Seven, another nice performance by a horse that had been entered for the turf, running well on the main track as well, getting the neck victory over the front-running Dream On. Talented Prince rallying from off the pace on a racetrack that had been upgraded to good. The winner, Dazzling Dr. Seven, a dark bay or brown 3-year-old gelded son of Cutlass Fax out of Dazzling Dixie by Dixieland Band, was bred in Florida by Luis de Echevarria, owned by Ray Juan Racing and trained by Luis Olivares. Ridden to victory by Julio Garcia, Dazzling Dr. Seven completes the 9 furlongs at Calder in 152-2. Pair of races up next from the Florida Stallion Series, and this series has been a very, very important series for the 2-year-olds throughout the last few years. We're going to kick the series off here, finish up the season with the 2-year-old fillies and the My Dear Girl for Florida sired 2-year-old fillies running for $400,000. Let's head back to Florida, the My Dear Girl.
And they're off in the My Dear Girl. Good start for Stolen Prayer along the inside. Mystery Girl came out well. Siren Cove is close up today. Prospect of Love moves up from the outside. Then Najib Stag. Here's Running Last moving her way through. She didn't get out all that well, and she is now into about a joint 5th as they make their way into the turn. They're followed by Pyrite Beauty, Consider the Source, a Madame Prez. Mia's Reflection is the trailer, but only 10 lengths back after a quarter of 24-2, and they went into a solid headwind into that first quarter. They make their way onto the backstretch. They'll have the wind at their back on the backstretch, and Stolen Prayer leads the way almost a length from Mystery Girl. Running Last is now all the way up to a joint 3rd. Siren Cove is also right there from the outside. Then a break of 4 lengths back to Najib Stag in front of Prospect of Love. Pyrite Beauty up on their outside. Consider the Source has 2 beaten. Mia's Reflection and a Madame Prez. The half mile went in 49 seconds flat, and it's Stolen Prayer and Eddie Castro clear as they go to the far turn. Stolen Prayer leads them by almost 3 lengths. Mystery Girl is there in second. Running Last still a clear third. Now she's been overtaken by Siren Cove. Running Last going to have to do a lot better than this if she wants to sweep the Stallion Stakes. It's Stolen Prayer in front. Mystery Girl Girl now the first to attack. Siren Cove has got a big shot. She's 3 wide at the quarter pole, but she's coming at the leaders. Top of the lane into My Dear Girl. Stolen Prayer turns them on down. Mystery Girl has to make up a length and a half. Siren Cove is there on the grandstand side. Consider the Source is starting to move in, and she's got a little bit of a shot. It's Stolen Prayer in front. Consider the Source now motoring at her on the grandstand side. Stolen Prayer, Consider the Source. They're in the final 50 yards. Consider the Source upsets the My Dear Girl. Stolen Prayer second best than Siren Cove and Mystery Girl.
Consider the Source, another big upset here, this one at 52-1, rallying past the early pace setter Stolen Prayer, with Siren Cove chasing the pace in the early going and settling for third. The winner, Consider the Source, won a maiden claimer, a couple back, came back on the turf last time out, ran second in Allowance Company, and then here pulls off the big upset for a $400,000 purse. Consider the Source is a 2-year-old daughter of Notebook from All Considered by Peace Corps, bred in Florida by the Russellwood Farm and owned by the breeder. Trained by Stephen Standridge and ridden to victory by Sebastian Madrid. Consider the Source covers the 9 furlongs on the good surface in 1:47 and 3. 2-year-old Colton Gelding's up next in the Stallion Series, the In Reality division, as In Summation looks to run his unbeaten record to 6. Let's head back to Florida, the In Reality.
And they're off in the In Reality. Great start for In Summation, and he bounds right out to the early lead. Cab came out well from the inside. Here's Lucky Chief moving up with Blazing Ray to joint third. Lil Diazo is just in behind them, followed by Old Town Pond, DJ Best, but Chetto down on the inside. He's a Lumberjack, is 5 wide on the turn. Full In is Saving Ground, and First Movement is at the back of the pack. As they go around that first turn, they went the opening quarter in 24 seconds flat. In Summation is pressed by Cab from the outside. In Summation, a short lead to the backstretch. Cab right there off his flank, and they have a 3.5 length lead now on Bachetto and Lucky Chief. DJ Best is losing ground now in 5th. He's overtaken by Blazing Rate. He's a Lumberjack there on his outside. Lil Diazo has 10 lengths to make up. They're followed by Old Town Pond. First Movement out of last. Full In is the trailer. Half Mile went in 47 and 3. It's still In Summation, pressed by Cab as they go to the far turn. In Summation, Cab, they have 4 lengths now on Bachetto, who's there in third. Lucky Chief is underway. Blazing Rate is trying to get involved. Here's Blazing Rate in 5th. He's now getting in gear and coming after the leaders. Around the far turn, still In Summation and Cab 1-2, but they're gaining on the top 2. Blazing Rate looks very dangerous. Here's Blazing Rate 3 wide, and Cecilia Penalba has him in gear as they come to the head of the stretch. Rail is open for Lucky Chief. 4 in a line as they straighten away, and here comes Blazing Rate at In Summation. In Summation, Blazing Rate, Lucky Chief trying to sneak on through. In Summation, Blazing Rate, Lucky Chief, they come down the lane. It's Blazing Rate the outside and Cecilia Penalba. In Summation, the inside, and Manuel Cruz fighting back. Here's In Summation coming back at Blazing Rate. Too tight to call in the In Reality. In Summation or Blazing Rate right together.
Blazing Rate pulling off the upset here, if you want to call it that, by a nose just under 4-1, getting up with a 3-wide move to beat the previously undefeated In Summation, who was certainly game in defeat. It was another couple of lengths back to Lucky Chief, who had to settle for third. The winner, Blazing Rate, is a chestnut 2-year-old son of Exchange Rate from Blazing Alarmist by Mr. Prospector. Bred in Florida by the Big C Farm and owned by Ralph C. Sessa. Trained by Richard Root and ridden to victory by Cecilio Penalba. Blazing Rate covers the mile and a 16th at Calder in 1:47 and 2. We're going to head right back down to Calder now, and older horses in the Grade 3 Spend a Buck Handicap, $100,000 mile and a 16th. Let's join the Spend a Buck in progress.
They head up toward the half-mile marker, and they're battling up front Appalachian Thunder. Appalachian Thunder has put away Chino Charlie, rather. Appalachian Thunder, Chino Charlie is out of the race. Chino Charlie has been pulled up out of the race and unseated jockey Alan Mirage. It's now Appalachian Thunder clear as they go to the turn. BB Best is coming after him. Draws to within a length and a half of the lead. Who's Crying Now is right there. And Supervisor is out of last. He's only 4 lengths back as they round that far turn. Appalachian Thunder, he still has over a a length on BB Best. Appalachian Thunder the leader with a quarter mile to run, and the rider hasn't asked for his best yet. BB Best now trying to inch closer from the outside. Who's Crying Now is hard ridden. Supervisor trying to get uncorked, but it's still Appalachian Thunder and Manuel Cruz showing the way with a furlong to run. Appalachian Thunder leads it by 2. BB Best is going the wrong way. Who's Crying Now starting to close in. Supervisor up the rail. Appalachian Thunder needs 50 yards. Here's Supervisor and BB Best. Supervisor and BB Best right together in the Spendabuck.
Supervisor picking up his first stakes victory at the age of 5. A solid effort here by a neck over BB Best, with Appalachian Thunder, the early pace setter, giving way late to settle for third. The winner, Supervisor, is a 5-year-old bay gelding, a son of Skip Trial from Silver Doe by Silver Buck. Bred in Florida by Dr. R.G. Lunnock and owned by the breeder, trained by Manny Tortora, ridden to victory by Aurelio Toribio Jr. Supervisor covers the mile on the 16th at Calder in 1:46 and 4. We're going to pause now for a brief message, and when we return, we'll be heading to the Mid-Atlantic for some great racing action, as well as the Midwest and Kentucky. Please stay with us.
All the fun, all the action, all year round. Capital OTB, the region's premier horse racing simulcast facilities, featuring the country's most prestigious tracks. Visit one of our more than 40 branches, wager at our easy bet locations, or open a phone a bet account and wager today from the comfort of home. There's plenty of racing excitement for everyone. Your chances are better with Capital OTB.
Breeders' Cup is where winning means the most. Our whole year points to Breeders' Cup Day. It's the only day when we ride in nothing but championship races. You get the chance to compete at the highest level against the best in your sport. With so many different races, the Breeders' Cup is the place to prove you're a world-class jockey. As the jockey with the most Breeders' Cup wins, I can tell you it has really helped my career. Breeders' Cup, it's our most important day.
Welcome back to Horses and Courses. We're going to continue now in the Mid-Atlantic with Delaware Park's feature race on Saturday, the Vincent A. Moscarelli, $100,000 for older sprinters. Let's head down to Delaware in the Moscarelli.
And they're off in the Vince Moscarelli. For the lead, Jump Starter from the outside gets off to a good start, quickly goes for that lead, but here comes Toscani, where he likes to be on the front end to challenge, and Toscani now to the front. Jump Starter in second, followed by Spooky Mulder. Now Forest Park moves up quickly with the rail into contention. Then comes Banjo Picker, and the trailer down the backside is Thunder Touch. As they speed toward the half-mile marker, Toscani and Forest Park are going at it. Opening quarter, 21 and 2 as they churn into that turn. It's 4 lengths further back to Spooky Mulder. On the outside, Jump Starter, then Banjo Picker, and Thunder Touch begins to move up on the inside as they race around the bend. Forest Park on the inside, Toscani on the outside. 3 lengths to Jump Starter, Spooky Mulder. Thunder Touch is moving well toward the inside, and Banjo Picker circling up on the far outside. Half goes in, 44 and 1 as they turn for home. It's wide open on the front end. Forest Park, Thunder Touch is coming on the inside. Up on the outside, Banjo Picker looking for the upset. It's Forest Park on the front end. Banjo Picker and Jump Starter all with a shot. It's still Forest Park, Thunder Touch, Banjo Picker, Jump Starter. Forest Park needs that wire. Forest Park is hanging on to win it. Thunder Touch second, Banjo Picker third.
A little bit of an incident in the stretch involving Forest Park and Thunder Touch, and as a result, Thunder Touch rallies from off the pace and gets the victory as Forest Park is DQ'd as there was a little bit of a drifting incident near about the furlong pole. Thunder Touch gets the victory. Forest Park reduced to the second spot as Banjo Picker finishes in the third spot and was not involved in the bumping incident. The winner, Thunder Touch, is a 4-year-old chestnut colt, a son of Gulch from Highland Vixen by Highland Ruckus, bred in Kentucky by Adina Springs, owned by the Stronach Stable and trained by Kieran McLaughlin, ridden to victory by Herb Castillo. Thunder Touch covers the 6 furlongs at Delaware in 1:10 and 2. More sprinters coming up next at Laurel in the Grade 3 Safely Kept. $150,000 for 3-year-old filly sprinters. Let's head down to Laurel, the Safely Kept.
Fillies in. And they're off. Lady Dynasty and Trickle of Gold very fast out of there from Partners Due and Madalena, and Starlina settles in last position. So Trickle of Gold out of the fence, leading the way by a head. Lady Dynasty pressing. Partners Due takes third by a head. Madalena's right there, length and 3/4 from the front. And Starlina in the back of the pack is taken in hand right along and about 4 lengths off the lead. And a little tight is Starlina. Shuffled out of it there, tried to make a move, but shuffled out in 5 off the lead. Around the far turn, Trickle of Gold has it. Now Partners Due's bidding up on the outside to quicken up that pace. It's already very fast. Lady Dynasty, Madalena's 4th and sent along about 3.5 off the lead. And Starlina now with about 8 lengths to make up. They're coming to the top of the stretch now, and Trickle of Gold out of the inside's tough from Partners Due. 5 lengths back. Madalena has to quicken up there from third. Hustle along by Michael Luzzy as they turn for home. Trickle of Gold still there. Partners Due full out second. Madalena's third. Starlina toward the center of the track. Plenty to do. 1 furlong to go. Trickle of Gold still there and staying. Trickle of Gold. Trickle of Gold and Jeremy Rose opening up 2.5, 3 lengths, and a powerful win here for Trickle of Gold. She's going to scorch under the line to win by 3. Madalena finishing fast for second, and Partners Due is third, and Starlina 4th, and Lady Dynasty.
Trickle of Gold, the speed of the speed, able to outrun the pretty quick Madalena, who really didn't get out of the gate and into the race all that easily here. She usually is a little bit sharper into stride, but Trickle of Gold ends up being the speed of the speed and kicking clear by 3 as the second choice favored Madalena crossing the line second. Partners Due chases the pace in the early going and has to settle for third. The winner, Trickle of Gold, is a 3-year-old dark Bayer Brown daughter of Formal Gold from Tricky Starlet by Tricky Fun. Bred in Kentucky by John D. Murphy and owned by the breeder, trained by Michael Gorham and ridden to victory by Jeremy Rose, Trickle of Gold runs the 6 furlongs at Laurel in 1:10 and 2. Going to head to Hawthorne now in the Grade 3 Hawthorne Derby. $250,000 for 3-year-olds on the grass, and this one did in fact stay on the grass on firm turf. Let's head to Hawthorne and the running of the Hawthorne Derby.
They're off. Bellator left for the lead between horses. Gun Salute towards the inside, Thunder Mission. Then on the outside, it's Cosmic Chris and then Boss. Through the stretch and under the finish wire for the first time. Not much pace on here. Bellator and Thunder Mission heads apart for the lead. Gun Salute tracking from third. It's a 5-length gap. Cosmic Chris and then Boss. They race into the clubhouse turn. Bellator on the inside. Thunder Mission on the outside. Heads apart for the lead. Gun Salute still in third. 2 lengths behind the leader. Then it's a 3-length gap to Cosmic Chris and then Boss alongside that one. They race on to the backstretch. Thunder Mission on the outside has his head in front and now draws clear. Less than 6 furlongs to go. Thunder Mission up top a length. Bellator now racing second. Gun Salute. Steady advancement on the outside third. 2.5 back to Boss. Cosmic Chris on the inside of that one. Field's covered by 6. They race into the far turn. Thunder Mission a length and a half. Gun Salute chasing in second. Bellator now third. Boss within 4 lengths of the lead. And Cosmic Chris in tight quarters. No place to go along the rail. And they race around the far turn. Roman Choppa, Thunder Mission in control. They lead by a length and a half. Gun Salute getting set to pounce in second. Boss continues to advance on the outside third. Bellator trying to re-rally. And Cosmic Chris swings wide for the stretch run. They come off the turn and Gun Salute now on the outside gets the lead. Cosmic Chris charging up out in the center of the course. Here comes Cosmic Chris. Gun Salute digging down. Gun Salute on the inside. Cosmic Chris right alongside. These two heads apart for the lead. Boss racing third. Final 70 yards. Gun Salute on the inside has the lead. Cosmic Chris trying to get by. Gun Salute will not be denied. Gun Salute in front. Gun Salute prevailed in a stiff stretch run.
Gun Salute, a Grade 1 winner. This is the horse that won the Secretariat over English Channel earlier on this season. Here getting a neck victory, coming out just a little bit in the stretch from the left-handed whip by Cornelio Velasquez, but he did maintain his path well enough to get the victory over Cosmic Chris with Embossed back in the 3rd spot. The winner, Gun Salute, is a 3-year-old bay son of military from Hail Roberta by Roberto. Bred in Kentucky by Brant Lau and owned by the breeder, trained by Bill Mott and ridden to victory by Cornelio Velasquez. Gun Salute runs the 1 1/8 on the firm surface in 1:47 and 2. We're going to head to Keeneland next for 4 stakes races over the weekend, beginning with last Thursday's ungraded Bryan Station, $100,000 for 3-year-old turfers. Let's head down to Keeneland and the running of the Bryan Station.
They're at the post. Shot comes out running after him, however. And there comes a Tiger is there up on the far outside. And these three come to the front as they head for the first turn. Take a Shot on the outside, gets a short lead, but T.D. Vance has a ground-saving trip around the first turn. Fishy Advice moves up between horses. There comes a Tiger, is caught wide around the turn, now third, just over 2 lengths off the lead. Further back, Drum Major settles against the rail in fifth, running 3.5 lengths from the front. A gap of nearly 4 more back to Ray de Cafe, Broadway Idol, and Classic Campaign is last for the move up the backstretch. The opening quarter, 23 and 1/5 seconds. T.D. Vance is the leader by a half length. Take a Shot goes second, 1.5 lengths. Fishy Advice toward the rail now in third. There comes a Tiger, is toward the outside in fourth, just 2 lengths off the lead. Drum Major moves up a closer fifth between horses. Gap of 5 more lengths to Ray de Cafe, Broadway Idol, and Classic Campaign is last. They got the half in 47 seconds. Into the far turn, T.D. Vance leading Take a Shot by a half length. Fishy Advice is down toward the rail. Drum Major between horses is next. There comes a Tiger, is fifth on the outside, still 4 lengths off the lead. Ray de Cafe is 2 more lengths behind that one. Then Classic Campaign and Broadway Idol coming to the 8th pole. There comes a Tiger running after T.D. Vance. Ray de Cafe getting shook loose. Drum Major is close but fourth toward the inside. Final furlong of the Bryan Station. There comes a Tiger, Ray de Cafe trying to collar T.D. Vance, nothing doing. T.D. Vance is too much today. He went to the length and a half. Ray de Cafe second, close for third. Either there comes a Tiger or Drum Major in 1 minute 34 and 3/5 seconds.
T.D. Vance, a stakes winner here in Saratoga, returning to the racetrack, victorious here, getting the lead early, fighting off a chance from Take a Shot, who did run fairly aggressively in the early going, a long shot, pressing T.D. Vance pretty aggressively, but T.D. Vance able to kick clear and win by a length over the late-moving Ray de Cafe. There comes a Tiger, sitting just off the early pace and running well after losing a little bit of position on the far turn. The winner, T.D. Vance, is a 3-year-old bay gelding, a son of Rahi, from Freedom of Speech by Danzig. Bred in Kentucky by TAC Holdings and owned by the Cortland Farm, trained by Graham Motion, and ridden to victory by Edgar Prado. T.D. Vance runs the mile on the Keeneland turf in 1:34 and 3. Next up, we're going to head right back to Keeneland and the running of the Grade 3 $200,000 Perryville, about 7 furlongs for 3-year-olds. Let's head to Keeneland and the Perryville.
Post. And they're off. Humor at Last and Vicarage and Diligent Prospect all flashing early speed. There goes Diligent Prospect up to challenge Vicarage for the top spot, heading onto the main track. Humor at Last is now running in the third position. Pinpoint just behind him, then Straight Line. Pavo toward the rail. Break of 5 lengths to Awesome Twist, and the late running Social Probation is the trailer for the move up the back stretch. 22 and 1 the time for the opening quarter. Diligent Prospect leads at 3/4 of a length. Vicarage occupies the spot down toward the rail, a close-up second. Gap of 2 to Humor at Last. Straight Line is right toward his inside, and then Pinpoint, who's running 5 lengths off the lead, followed by Pavo. Break of just over 5 to Social Probation, and Awesome Twist is the trailer, moving midway on the far turn. They got the half in 44 and 4/5 seconds. Here's Vicarage moving up the inside to put ahead in front. Diligent Prospect is second by 3. Straight Line picks up the leaders now in third, but he'll have to do more. A 1/4 mile to come. Straight Line still 4 lengths off the lead. Then a gap of 3 more to Humor at Last, who is struggling to keep up. Pinpoint, then Social Probation, who angles toward the center of the racetrack. A good 10 lengths off the lead of Vicarage, and Vicarage streaks by the 8th pole with a 6-length advantage. Back to Straight Line, who runs second. Social Probation down the center of the track. Pinpoint to his inside. Vicarage is going to crush this field in the Grade 3 Perryville, presented by Budweiser. It's all Vicarage. He wins it by 11 lengths over Straight Line, who was second, and then Social Probation and Pinpoint.
A couple of big names had the chance of running here. We might have even seen a Fleet Alex back in this race, but it was not to be. Nonetheless, a good field of 8 going postward. The favorite, Diligent Prospect, rather disappointing after showing good early speed, but Vicarage pressing the pace in the early going, kicking clear by an impressive 10 lengths over Straight Line. Social Probation, who had chased the likes of Lost in the Fog in some of his recent performances, rallies from off the pace, but was no threat to the winner. The winner, Vicarage, a dark bay or brown son of Vicar from 4 Dixie by Dixieland Band, was bred in Kentucky by J.D. Squires, owned by the Dogwood Stable and trained by Todd Pletcher, ridden to victory by John Velasquez. Vicarage covers the about distance of 7 furlongs at Keeneland in 1 minute 26 seconds flat. We're going to head right back down to Kentucky now in Saturday's running of the Queen Elizabeth II Challenge Cup. This is for 3-year-old fillies running for $500,000 on the turf course. Let's head back down to Kentucky in the Grade 1 Queen Elizabeth.
And they're off. Sweet Talker and Naissance Royale have early speed on the outside, and then Lewis Line, who is quickly taken back over toward the rail, reluctant to go forward in the early going. The jockey tries to restrain her, but she is right up front nonetheless. Naissance Royale moves up alongside of Lewis Line, and then Sweet Talker comes next and will be caught wide heading to the first turn. Then Karen's Caper in between horses as they enter the turn. Singleese, 3 Degrees, and Gorella, the French filly, is at the back. She's 6 lengths off the early leaders. Lewis Line has a ground-saving trip around the first turn. Naissance Royale has a head in front just outside of her. And once again, Naissance Royale moves in front now by a half length. Lewis Line is second by a length. Karen's Caper goes third by a head. Sweet Talker is fourth on her outside. Another length and a half to Singleese against the rail. 3 Degrees alongside of her. And Gorella is content to trail for the move up the back stretch. The opening quarter, 25-1 over the firm turf. The half in 50 and 4/5 seconds. Naissance Royale and Lewis Line, the top two, they're still matching strides. Another length and a half to Karen's Caper. Then Sweet Talker, who's on the far outside, in fourth. Singleese now moving into contention, but she's against the rail, needing more room, just 2 lengths off the lead, 3 Degrees behind her. And Gorella is still last, midway on the final turn, 6 lengths from the lead. Sweet Talker makes a move to the center of the course. Lewis Line opens up by a length and a half, however. Naissance Royale between them. Singleese needs room, and here comes 3 Degrees down the center of the course. Gorella is running quickly toward the inside. The question, will she find room? Sweet Talker to the lead. Gorella charging up the inside of Lewis Line. Naissance Royale is still there. Then Karen's Caper. Gorella up the inside, Karen's Caper on the outside. Sweet Talker is there between them. A multiple horse photo for the win in the Grade 1 Queen Elizabeth II Challenge Cup. The time 1 minute 51 and 1/5 seconds.
Sweet Talker, another upset in major graded company here at 18-1, picking up a nose victory in a very close 4-horse blanket finish over Karen's Caper, Gorella, and Naissance Royale, all crossing the line very, very close together. The winner, Sweet Talker, the longest shot on the board at almost 19-1 with a 5-wide sweeping move under Rafael Bejarano to get the game victory. Sweet Talker is a dark Bayer Brown 3-year-old daughter of Storm and Fever from another vegetarian by Stalwart, bred in Kentucky by Burton Jones and owned by Elia and Lisa Kahn, trained by Helen Pitts, who picked up her first Grade 1 victory here. Sweet Talker completes the 1 1/8 miles on the Keeneland turf course in 1:51.1. One more event from Keeneland this weekend, the Thoroughbred Club of America Stakes, a Grade 2, 6 furlongs for 3-year-olds and up, fillies and mares. Let's head back to Keeneland and the Thoroughbred Club of America Stakes.
And they're off. Molto Vita wasting no time hustling out of the gate, but Forest Music has early speed as expected, and Forest Music quickly gets over next to the rail, leading Molto Vita by nearly 2 lengths up the back stretch. Reunited up close to the early pace as well. Vision of Beauty is away running in fourth. Liz on Polk Street is fifth on the outside. The unbeaten filly Behaving Badly is sixth and running 4 lengths off the early lead. A gap of 2 more to Miss Terrible. A gap of another 4 back to Savor the Time, My Trusty Cat, and Pusha Sacco is last. Opening quarter, 21 and 3/5 seconds, and Forest Music leads it by 2 lengths. Reunited second by 2. Behaving Badly third by a head. Vision of Beauty to her inside. Then Molto Vita, Miss Terrible, and Liz on Polk Street. That one still 10 lengths off the lead, and the leader is Forest Music by 2 lengths with Reunited second, and Behaving Badly still 8 lengths off the lead. She's fourth. Vision of Beauty third. Miss Terrible moves up behind them toward the inside, and then Savor the Time. The half in 44 and 4/5 seconds. Forest Music is chased by Reunited, Miss Terrible, and Savor the Time running late with Vision of Beauty to their inside. Reunited, Miss Terrible, Reunited, Miss Terrible. Here's the line. Photo finish for the win of the Grade 3 Thoroughbred Club of America. Either Miss Terrible or Reunited. The time 1 minute 11 and 2/5 seconds.
Reunited, we saw her in Allowance Company up here at Saratoga. She looked to be an up-and-comer after beginning her career at Keeneland in the spring. She has finally started to put it all together and ends up picking up the victory in the TCA by a head over Miss Terrible, a nice older established sprinting mare. Savored the time, settling for the third spot after having a little bit of traffic trouble under Gary Stevens. The winner, Reunited, a dark Bayer Brown 3-year-old daughter of Dixie Union from Tivoli by Mount Livermore, was bred in Kentucky by William S. Farish. Owned by the breeder and trained by Neil Howard, ridden to victory by Robbie Alvarado. Reunited covers the 6 furlongs of the Thoroughbred Club of America in 1:11 and 2. We're going to pause now for one more brief message, and when we return, we'll be heading to Southern California, New York, and taking a look at a couple of overseas features. Please stay with us.
Sluggold in between them, those three in a dramatic finish. Tis now wins it for America. It's going to be a 3-horse photo finish in the turn. Here's the wire.
The Breeders' Cup World Thoroughbred Championships. 8 races, 8 world champions. One unforgettable day.
Who do you like today at the Breeders' Cup?
I like the sprint. I like the fillies. I like the horse with the classic European breeding.
We like the Daily Double.
I like the 27 to 1 shot.
I like winning.
I like my horse. I like my horse.
I like my horse.
I like calling 8 championship races on one day.
Who do you like today?
Who do you like today?
Who do you like today?
Welcome back to Horses and Courses. We're going to continue now on the West Coast. We're going to head to Oak Tree at Santa Anita and the running of the Grade 2 Oak Tree Derby for 3-year-olds on Saturday. Let's head to California, the Oak Tree Derby.
And away they go. On the inside, we have Follow the Rainbow out best. Eastern Sand in the red colours away well. In the centre of the track, here's Auburn's World showing speed as well. Aragorn is down at the rail, and Teddo the Grey now moving up to take third. Brecon Beacon taken back second last. Ossity is at the back. 7 lengths would cover them all. Past the stands first time round, and Follow the Rainbow leads it by a length. On the outside, Orbit's World is a joint second with Teddo right there as well. Aragorn is in the 4th spot, and Eastern Sand is in 5th. Only 3 off the leaders. The pace a very strong one. Then we come back another 2 lengths here to Brecon Beacon racing back second last. Ossity is at the back, a good 13 off the lead. Onto the backstretch they go, and Follow the Rainbow and Tyler Bays open up on them now. They go clear by 4 lengths. Teddo is racing in second. On the outside of that is Orbit's World. Back to Aragorn, tucked in 4th at the rail. Alongside of him is Eastern Sand in the red colours. Then we come back to Brecon Beacon, second last and 9 lengths off the leader. And then there's another 5 back to Ossity. Less than a half mile to go in the Oak Tree Derby, and Follow the Rainbow still clear by 4 lengths. They starting to come now though. Here's Eastern Sand in the red colours, closing strongly. Eastern Sand, Aragorn along the inside, and they coming fast now. Follow the Rainbow's got to find more. Eastern Sand in the red, Aragorn between them. Ossity is winding up from far back, gonna come running down the grandstand side. Homeward bound now, Eastern Sand, the leader. Aragorn, Ossity continues to close strongly in the centre of the track. But it's Aragorn and Eastern Sand the 2. Now here's Brecon Beacon with a late run too. Aragorn has the advantage over Eastern Sand as they come to the wire. Aragorn, Eastern Sand. Aragorn wins it a nose. Eastern Sand was second, Brecon Beacon third, and Ossity finished 4th.
Aragorn picking up the victory here. This is an Irish bred, came over for this race, and as is often the case, may end up sticking around for some of the big winter events on grass in Southern California, getting a nose victory after a little bit of traffic trouble. He and Eastern Sand brushing a little bit in deep stretch. Eastern Sand running on well to finish second as long shot Brecon Beacon finishes third. Ossity, the favorite in the field of 7, rather disappointing after getting off to a slow start, never got into the race and settled for 4th. The winner, Aragorn, is a chestnut 3-year-old son of Giant's Causeway from Onaga by Mr. Prospector, bred in Ireland by Ballygallen Stud, owned by Ballygallen and trained by Neil Drysdale, ridden to victory by Pat Valenzuela. Aragorn covers the mile and an 8th on the turf at Santa Anita in 1:46 and 2. We're going to head right back to California now in the running of the Harold C. Ramser Senior Handicap. $100,000 for fillies going a mile on the turf. Let's head back to Southern California and the Ramsar.
Away they go. She's a Jewel bounces well in the center. That's what I'm talking about in the white cap. On the outside, Silver Stage and Brooks Halo. Brooks Halo will take over. Then comes a Classic Life going up a joint second. Just in behind those two comes La Seeker. At the rail we have Island Escape. Shining Energy's taken back third last. Then it's Louvain, and Homecoming will be the early trailer. 9 lengths would cover them all. They run to the three-quarter pole, and Brooks Halo, setting just a decent pace, not flying, leads at a length and a half to Silver Stage. A Classic Life scrapes the paint in third, been followed to by That's What I'm Talking About in fourth. On the outside, La Seeker, been followed then by Island Escape, who's back 6, but only 5 off the leader. She's a Jewel is back 4th last. Then Shining Energy, Louvain 2nd last, and Homecoming quite content to trail, 9 lengths off the lead. They run past the half-mile pole, and it's still Brooks Halo showing the way, leads it by a length and a half to Silver Stage. A Classic Life comes through a joint second, La Seeker on the outside. That's What I'm Talking About is in 5th. Then behind those two we have Island Escape, who's giving them 5 length start, then Louvain. She's a Jewel's got to pick it up now. Shining Energy beginning her run in the red cap, 7 off them, and Homecoming winding up but far back. They come to the top of the lane. Brooks Halo on the inside to Seeker. Here's Louvain with a white cap grandstand side. That's What I'm Talking About. Shining Energy, extreme outside in the red colours. And here's Shining Energy and Louvain. These two now burst to the front. Louvain, Shining Energy, Homecoming running on late. They come for home. Louvain on the inside. Shining Energy right there, but Louvain is going to win it. And Louvain wins it a half a length to Shining Energy. That's What I Mean was third.
Louvain, you may remember her. She shipped over from Ireland last year and ran very impressively in stakes company for Bobby Frankel. Kind of been a little quiet this year, hasn't really returned to the kind of form she showed last year, but here shows that perhaps she is developing at the right time. As she picks up a 3/4 length victory over Shining Energy with That's What I Mean, picking up the 3rd spot after having made a little bit of a nice middle move and weakening about the top of the stretch. The winner, Louvain, is a 3-year-old bay filly, a daughter of Sindar from Flanders by Common Ground. That, of course, not the American Overbrook filly Flanders, but an Irish-bred daughter of Common Ground. She was bred in Ireland by 12 Oaks Stud and is owned by Edmund Gann, trained by Bobby Frankel, and ridden to victory by Tyler Bays. Louvain runs the mile on the turf at Santa Anita in 1:35 flat. Going to head back to Belmont for the only stakes race of the weekend at Belmont. The Grade 3 Athenia, originally carded as a Grade 3, did at least temporarily lose that status when it was washed off the turf due to terrible rainy situation in New York over the past week. $100,000 for the 3 and up fillies and mares going a mile and a 16th. Let's head to Belmont and the running of the Athenia.
And they're off, and Asti dwelt at the start, spots the field 6 or 7 lengths. It's Bohemian Lady who comes out running for the lead, and My Lordship is after her early on the outside. Zozima's away 3rd. And then it's Miss Mambo 4th, followed by Sharp Needle after a hesitant beginning. Asti's way behind the rest. Up the back stretch, and it's Bohemian Lady by a half a length. My Lordship right there with her through a quarter in the mud in 23 1/5 seconds into a very strong headwind. Just in behind, Zozima's 3rd by 2.5 lengths. Then Sharp Needle together with Miss Mambo. It's 9 lengths back to the trailer Asti. Midway down the backstretch run. Bohemian Lady still holding a narrow advantage over My Lordship. Just in behind them, Zozima continues to track 3rd. Zozima continues to rate nicely. A break of another 4 or 5 to Miss Mambo. Sharp Needle under a ride on Asti. 45 4 is the half. Midway around the far turn now. It's still Bohemian Lady, My Lordship, and Zozima. 3 lengths back, Miss Mambo getting a bit closer. Followed by Asti, and followed by Sharp Needle. And Asti is now beginning to hit her best stride, but she's still got a lot to do. About 9 lengths from the leader. And the leader is still Bohemian Lady. My Lordship on the outside. Zozima runs in 3rd. Farther back, Miss Mambo on the outside. And Asti down on the rail. Asti in with a shot here. Bohemian Lady in front by 2.5 lengths. Asti is running an absolutely unbelievable race on the far outside. Can Asti win, possibly? Yes! Asti, unbelievable from nowhere, left at the gate and goes on to win the Athenia, beating Bohemian Lady and Zozima.
Asti, who's been running some pretty good races against nice allowance fillies on the turf, here rallies beautifully from off the pace on a muddy sealed racetrack at 7-1 after getting off to a slow start. She gets the 3/4 length victory over the favored Bohemian Lady, with Zosima back in the 3rd spot. The winner, Asti, a dark Bayer brown daughter of Sadler's Wells from a Stork by Learfan, was bred in Ireland by Dayton Investments and is owned by Joseph Allen. She's been giving Mr. Jerkins fits all year. She's a little bit of a temperamental filly, often losing her race in the paddock and post-parade. But here she ran a very big one on the dirt rather than on what has been preferred, her turf surface. The winner, Asti, is trained by Alan Jerkins, ridden to victory by Georgie Chavez. Asti completes the mile and the 16th at Belmont in 1:42.2. We have a couple of overseas features to bring to you as well. A couple of grade 1s from Newmarket, beginning with the Darley Dewhurst for 2-year-olds going 7 furlongs on the Newmarket course. Let's head overseas and join the running of the Darley Dewhurst in progress.
Horatio Nelson just had a buffet there between Opera Cape and also Red Clubs as the horse looked to improve, and he's just being niggled along by Kieran Fallon. Towards the outside is Primary, then Close to You and Sir Percy as tightly grouped they make their way down now inside the final half of the contest. Palace Episode moving alongside Humongous. Red Clubs waiting in the wings, Primary punched along. Horatio Nelson still finds his path blocked by Opera Cape at this stage, and Kieran Fallon weaving around, desperate for some room as they go inside the final 2.5. Palace Episode now spying a run. Kieran Fallon brings Horatio Nelson through to try and get a passage. It's blocked again. Red Clubs and Opera Cape. Then towards the outside, Sir Percy inside the final furlong. Opera Cape switched again. Horatio Nelson into the dip. The far side, Sir Percy. Sir Percy's come through to the lead from Opera Cape. Horatio Nelson, they got first run. He sees his unbeaten record slipping from his grasp, and Sir Percy wins the Darley Dewhurst from an unlucky Horatio Nelson in 2nd, from Opera Cape in 3rd, and Red Clubs in 4th.
Sir Percy pulling off a big upset here over the heretofore undefeated Horatio Nelson. In fact, Horatio Nelson and Opera Cape coming back out of the Prix Jean-Luc Lagardère on Arc Day a couple of weeks ago. Both of them very, very impressive that day. Sir Percy, who interestingly enough, who had been purchased to become an eventual steeplechaser down the line for his connections, ends up pulling off the upset for trainer Martin Tregoning and Martin Dwyer aboard. An interesting running here, as we did have an undefeated horse, but a long shot. Sir Percy pulling off the victory in the Dewhurst. Final time for the Darley Dewhurst on the Newmarket course, 1:26.2. We're going to head over to back over to Newmarket now and take a look at the running of the Champion Stakes. This is another one of their major events, a Group 1, $680,000, the approximate American value. Let's join the Champion Stakes in progress.
At this stage, in 2nd place, heading the chase is Touch of Land. By a length back in 3rd to Panson. In 4th, then races Chic just ahead of Oratorio, just nudged along for a stride or two, as is his wont at this stage of the race. Lehman Alexander Gold Run and Prospect Park are now in mid-division. The pace is much better since Echo of Light was allowed to stride clear. Rapti still travelling strongly. He's been absolutely smothered up by Philip Robinson, so he's got nowhere to go even if he does want to pull. Racing on the inside of Pride was that. Chic's now towards the rear of the field, and Alcacer is last of all. Echo of Light still has a big lead here as they go inside the final 3.5. Is 7 to 8 lengths in advance of Touch of Land, then Rob Roy. Oratorio just held in the pocket by Panson at this stage. Then towards the outside, Prospect Park. Marahel tries to improve. Alcacer has plenty to do from that position with Pride. Still Rakti appears full of running, but has got an absolute wall in front of him as Echo of Light begins to paddle as they go inside the final furlong and a half. And now the pack are closing. They're headed by Marahel. Several need room. Oratorio and Rakti in particular. David Jr. now moves through the lead. This could be a shock. David Jr. from Marahel. Then comes Pride. Alcacer towards the outside. It's Chic. Oratorio and Rakti have never really got in it. It's David Jr. who leads from Pride, who's coming hard after the leader. David Jr. with Pride closing with every stride. But David Jr. wins the Emirates Airline Champion Stakes from Pride Marahel. And just behind those, Oratorio and Rakti, neither of whom had the run of the race.
David Jr., yet another surprise victory here. This one, a 25-1 shocker sent out by Brian Meehan. David Jr. was held up steadily in the back, progressed throughout the course of the running, and rallied to pick up the victory over the French filly Pride, with Marahel, another long shot, In the third spot here, very disappointing, were major Group 1 horses, Oratorio, Rockty, and Alexander Gold Run, all running well back in the running here. Oratorio doing no better than fourth in this field. A very, very unusual running of the Group 1 Emirates Airlines Champion Stakes, won by an American-bred David Jr., son of Pleasant Tap, ridden to victory by Jamie Spencer, completing the 1.25 miles at Newmarket in 2:05 and 4. That's going to wrap up a busy edition of Horses and Courses. Thank you very much for joining me, and a special thank you very much to Anthony Marmino for filling in for me last week while I was out. I appreciate all the help that our help has given us last week. It was a busy week for me out of the office, but I'm glad to be back here doing Horses and Courses and the rest of the programming here on the network. Thanks again for joining us. I will hope to see you back here next time on Horses and Courses. Until then, have a great week at the races.